And hello, YouTube. Welcome back to another episode of Factorio. My name is Tanis Fugit, and welcome to the Fugitive Theater. So, last time we had a pretty effective episode. We really set up this copper production. Not that we really need that much of it yet, but we set up a bunch of it. We moved our radars down to this little part down here because where they were right here in the middle of our base, they have already scanned out everything they could do. So we sent them way out here, we put a bunch of guns around them, and now they're starting to scan out from here. You can see already we've filled out the rest of this iron ore patch that we had only sort of vaguely seen up to this point. And now that that's been seen, we see that there's an incredibly massive biter base on the other side of it that if we ever want to put down roots on this iron ore, we're going to have to deal with. One thing it has not shown for us yet is crude oil. Womp womp. We're going to have to deal with that. So in order for us to deal with that, though, we are going to take care of making rail. Rail needs stone, steel plate, and iron sticks in order to be produced. And it's produced in a half a second. So this is something that you produce a lot of very quickly. Now, I'm at a loss at exactly how I want to do this. Instinctively, I would say, you know, do this way over here, right? Because there's steel over there and there's iron over there, so I can turn the iron into iron sticks. And I can, you know, I've already got existing steel. But the problem is that there's stone. This is my only production line of stone, and it gets shipped over here where it's turned into bricks. The rail doesn't need bricks, it needs raw stone. This is the only place that stone exists right now. So we could do something silly, like try and take this little stone patch, route a bunch of iron and steel down here, just route a bunch of iron down here, turn it into steel on site, turn it into rods on site, on sticks on site, and then just mine out some stone here and make rail down here. It could be its own little mini factory. It's an idea. I don't think it's a great idea. Instead, what I think I'm going to do is something a little bit unusual. And what I think I'm going to do, well, I kind of don't necessarily want to. I'm like second guessing myself now. I kind of don't want to do anything I was just thinking about. Actually, I don't know. The idea of routing... How far away is this, actually? I mean, it's not insanely far away. Clean up some of this stuff that's here. Make it a little easier for me to, like, ship the stuff around. And maybe, just maybe, it's actually worthwhile to route myself down this way. It's not what I had anticipated. Actually, I was quite certain that I was going to just create the rail over by the stone production, the already existing stone production. But the more I'm looking at this, the more I'm thinking this is actually maybe doable. Oh, I don't have enough. I don't have enough boom booms. I ran out of boom booms. We craft like one more set of 5 and... Yeah, see, here's the patch I'm talking about. Yeah, you know what? I might do that. Set up a couple miners here. I wouldn't need many, just a few. And then bring down some iron and then set up, like, right here, a small little production field of turning some iron into steel, which would require me to route down some coal as well, which is a little bit awkward, but not impossible. So I'd have to route down iron and coal, or maybe I just break out a little bit of iron right here. Maybe I break out a little bit of iron, like, right here. Create just a little bit of... Or I just break off some steel, I guess. No, I don't think that's better. No, I think I break off some iron, turn a little bit of it into... Turn just a tiny, tiny, tiny little... Although I don't want to do it right here. Because this, I think, is going to be space that's going to be used for... Yeah, it would have to be somewhere like here instead. Which isn't ideal either, because this is eventually... Well, I don't know. If I really start to increase my labs... Because now I'm worried, like, I want to increase my labs, which will, you know, pack this area a little more densely. But really, if I want to, like, supercharge my labs... then I'll be doing that somewhere else. Also, by the way, with railway finished, we can start researching something else. The main thing that that opens up is automated rail transport, which we are going to do because we need automated rail transport and rail signals in order to actually do automatic train lines. Instead of just jumping in the train and running it ourselves, the train will run themselves. And we need these techs in order for that to happen. So I think we're gonna break off. We're gonna break off iron right here. That's what we're gonna do. So here's the plan. I'm gonna break off some iron. I'm gonna route it down here. I'm going to pull a little bit of coal down here as well, and I'm gonna set up like maybe a handful, maybe 4 or 5 of these steel furnaces down here, and I'm gonna turn some of the iron we route out of here into steel. Once we've turned the iron into steel, the steel and iron will then route together down to this little stone patch. That's what we're gonna do. Ooh, lot more copper over here. A lot of iron and copper together. I can create a nice, like, I could create like a huge smelting operation right here for iron and copper, and just be smelting and just be sending the already smelted materials around instead of carting around a bunch of raw material. That's very strong, actually. That might be, yeah, forget this copper ore patch, even though this one is a lot more than these two combined. Eventually I'll have to be out here looking at this one. But yeah, I think this is where I'm heading. Okay, so that's what's gonna happen. So give me a minute and I will be right back. Alright, welcome back. So this is clearly not efficient or anywhere close to probably how this should go, but I don't know. It's fun. It's weird. It's weird, and that's fun to me. So this is what we're going with. I've run iron and a whole bunch of steel down here just to make some random rails. I don't know. This is probably not in any way efficient, and this will almost certainly end up being a stop on the railway itself. The funny thing is, this is being used to make our railway. This will probably end up being a whole stop on the railway itself. I'll probably end up moving. I'll probably just delete all of this in the first place and just end up shipping, you know, iron and steel right to like here. I'll just drop it here, right? And then this will be like. This will be creating stone, and it'll be sending some of it here, and whatever isn't being used by this production area is going to get, you know, packed onto another train, and is going to go elsewhere where we can actually use the stone. So for now, that's being, you know, that's being done. We're making rail. Actually, I'm going to like open this up a bit more, allow that to create even more rail. Let's take a look at our map again. See if any more. Ah, finally! Finally, we get some crude oil exposed. All right. So what does that mean? Well, first of all, it definitely means we're going to have to take care of this base. It means we're going to take care of this base. It means we're going to have to probably, well, eventually we'll take care of this and this because we want to eat this spot, which is not to eat up all this anyway. There's water here, which is good. Because you need water for some amount of work in this, but this is a huge distance away. It's like 2 times this length of my base away, and I've got a pretty long, you know, megabus base going on right now. So what does it actually mean? What does it actually mean? Well, for now it doesn't mean much of anything because we're still working through these. We're not making any changes to what we've already got here. So basically what it means is, well, not much for now, except for the fact that I am going to start to create a rail line sort of from here-ish, somewhere around here, over to here. We're going to have to take out this base. We're going to have to take out whatever these biters are right here, at least to start out with. That's a given. That's a guarantee given. Which means that I should start grabbing and arming myself for a coming conflict. We're going to grab a couple of these. And I put down a bunch of guns, so I don't have a bunch of guns. Guns are in this box. I'm actually going to grab the whole stack of 50. And they can keep working on that. Rail signal's finished. All right, automatic rail done. Once we start getting the rail system organized, we can now, the trains can automate themselves, they can use signals to make sure they don't crash into each other, so on and so forth. Very, very nice. The next thing I'm actually going to grab is stronger explosions too. I should be moving into fluid handling, but it's going to take me a while to actually get to the point where I can actually make this work. So instead, we're going to like just make our military a little bit stronger. So we're going to go stronger explosions too, and it'll spend some of this military research that we haven't actually been spending in a while. So while stronger explosives 2 is in the works, here's what we're going to do. We need to make a train. So in order to make a train, we actually need 20 engine units. So engine units are very, very, very important to make in order to make a locomotive. So I think what I'm actually going to do is I am going to create a engine unit factory. I'm not going to create a locomotives factory, but I am going to create an engine unit factory. Engine units are here. They need a steel plate, iron gear wheel, and pipes. Now, iron gear wheels and pipes are both made from raw iron. And then it needs steel. So we need to input some iron and some steel to make it, which makes like this area an ideal source to start this off. In fact, this is going to be the next thing. It's going to be right here. All right, so this shouldn't take me too long. This should be a pretty easy build. A couple of assembly machines to create the basic stuff that I need, and then we'll be all set. So give me just a minute. I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. All right, so here's what we're doing. It's not super efficient, but it is what it is. One assembly machine. Oh, did I say low power? Are we back to a low power situation? We are. All right, well, we're going to do this again. One day we will make this a permanent thing and it won't be a problem anymore. Oh, I screwed that up pretty bad. Oh, good. It's whatever. It's fine. Eventually we will make it so that this is less of a problem, but for right now, just is what it is. Did I only make 3 of those? I did. Let's make another one. I've got some regular inserters, I've got some power poles. What I need is a few pipes. And let's put down these steam engines that I just created. And we'll have to lock down a couple of these power poles. And and there we go, we're on the coal across. There we go. A few more steam engines working full power to get the energy out there. Yep, we should put even a couple more down though. Guess that shouldn't be all that surprising. Let's see, I made a couple more of these boilers. Yeah, so let's make 4. Oh, wow, I still... Not even enough for 1, huh? What am I missing? Oh, I'm picking up stone bricks. Whoops. That was my mistake. Certainly explains that. Well, now I've got an inventory full of stone bricks in case I ever need them. Whoopsie. That's my bad. That's my bad. Actually, I think I'm gonna pick up, like, a small inventory full of the steel stuff, and I'll turn some of these into some furnaces, because I will eventually be placing those down, so I might as well... Actually, you know what? Might as well, like... Because this... could always use higher production. Okay. Now put down a couple more boilers, which again, we need a couple more pipes to make that make sense. I know it's not necessary to leave a space between the boilers, but I prefer it that way. I like it when there's a space between the boilers. Okay. Slight mistakes. Hold on. I'm sort of fat fingering some of my controls here. There we go. Okay. There we go. And you should still be able to produce... Yeah, you're pumping only like a third of your full capacity, so yeah, still plenty of power from the pump to keep these things running. And now, yeah, our production is pretty good. Okay. There we go. Power up. That's gonna sound great on the recording. It's obviously got to get cut. Oh, that's gross. All right. So Stronger Explosives 2 is almost done, which means we can actually start in on the fluid processing stuff. We have engine parts being built. Once we have 20 of them built, we can build a locomotive. We can build that right in our hand. Do we have everything else in our hand aside from the... We're missing some steel plates. Grab some circuits. Let's pick up the stuff that we're eventually going to need for this. Let's just so that it's in our hand and ready to go. Also, Explosives 2 is done. Let's move into fluid handling. Because we're going to start moving over to the oil, the crude oil, before too much longer. So we'll need all the relevant things. I don't want all those bricks. Oh, I guess I'm picking up bricks. Huh? There we go. Okay. Plenty of stuff. I just need the engine units. How are the engine units coming along? They take a long time to build, so I don't imagine they are good to go yet. Those are the guns. 24. What did I need? 20? Nice. Okay. I guess that's good then. One locomotive. Boom. All right. So we now have a locomotive in hand. And I'm going to run down here real quick and grab as many of the rails as have been created. Nice. Full set of 500. Let's grab all of them. Now I'm going to go ahead and set this on the hotbar to rails. There we go. Fluid handling is done. With fluid handling comes the ability to make a fluid wagon. So this goes on a train. This is a fluid way instead of a, like, you know, solid cargo. We can have our trains carry fluids like crude oil or water or gases. And then there's oil processing. Oil processing is what actually allows us to pull up that crude oil and start making use out of it. So I am going to go into oil processing first, because that's got to be done by the time we reach our destination. So I think one thing I want to do before I finish off this episode is take down this base of biters. And I am going to do so on foot, which is probably... there is, by the way, so deeper into this tech tree, right here, automobilism. I can create a car and go driving around in that car. And I might do that at some point, but the car controls are so freaking wonky that I'm disincentivized from doing that. The car controls are honestly so jank that I am disincentivized from doing that. One day. But today is not necessarily that day. Alright, there's the base. And, I mean, here's the thing. Long reach plus fill for me. I'm actually going to just showcase how insane this is. This combination of mods is. I'm not even close enough to, like, hear these things. Like, I can't even hear them shooting. And that's it. The fight's over. The whole base is dead. This is why people... This is why just, you know, what some people call... quality of life mods, other people call destructive to the game. Because it kind of is. There are a few... What the hell? Is this them? I guess so. I guess I could take out this base as well if I really wanted to, just to sort of make sure that this like wing of my base is secure. Yeah, I think I might do that. It's another big base down. And yeah, I mean, is this the way I want to do it? Not really. Is it like the best way to do it? Yeah. Kind of disincentivized from doing it any other way. But anyway, those two bases are now done, and the way to the crude oil is now open. So, there we go. Next episode, I'm going to be setting up the basic train line, which is primarily going to be connecting my base here with the crude oil that we now have access to, finally. And we're going to start moving into oil processing. Why do we need oil processing? Because the next science is this blue science here. And in order to make blue science, we need sulfur, advanced circuits, and well, and engine units. But sulfur and advanced circuits both require oil in some way. The advanced circuits sit here, and you see they need plastic bars. The plastic bars come from plastic, which needs petroleum gas, which comes from oil. And the other thing that it's going to need, the other thing the blue science needs, is sulfur. So if we were to look here, you'd see sulfur processing. Sulfur comes from water and petroleum gas and can be made into sulfuric acid for further production. But sulfur itself comes from water and petroleum gas. So petroleum gas is needed to make both sulfur and plastic, both of which are essential components for this blue science. So that's where we're going next. So for right now, I'm going to be done for the evening. Thank you guys very much for watching. My name is Tanis Fugit. Thank you for stopping by the Fugitive Theater, and I'll see you guys next time. Tanis. Good night, guys. Bye.